Fontaine?
Here.
Board Member Malloy?
Here.
Board Member Storms?
Yes.
Supervisor Stanley?
Here. I entertain a motion for approval of the previous couple of minutes.
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
All in favor?
Ready?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Supervisor's report, September 2016. Police fees, $30.50. Nancy Hudler reimbursement for seminar, $155. Ambulance fees, $2,038.37. Town clerk fees, $333.54. Cell tower, $917.75. Justice fees, $9,261. Planning fees, $100. Excuse me. Building permit fees, $1,735. Dog licenses, $78. Phoenicia water interest, 30 cents. Time Warner Cable, $16,831.22. Cemetery plots, Shandaken Rural, $400. Highway interest, $2.71. Highway reimbursement from Cornell, $5,952 for a total of $37,835.39. Communications. October 2016, 2017 budget. I met with the town accountants last week and we have come up with a tentative budget for next year. The discussion did not go as well as I had hoped, and as anticipated, we will be exceeding the state tax cap for the first time since its inception 5 years ago. Our general budget increase looks to be about 8.28%, and the highway will be 7.95%. There are a number of items responsible for this increase in the general and highway departments as follows. Revenues. I had hoped to utilize more of the fund balance this coming year to offset the increase in expenses we anticipated throughout the year. If you recall, I've started at many previous budget hearings how we were working to reduce the use of fund balance in order to build reserves. This has been working. This year, in light of several issues facing the town, I had looked to use $60,000 more of the fund balance this year. In meeting with our accountants, we discussed that although it would still leave a fund balance, it was not an amount that made any of us comfortable. It was suggested that we use the same amount as last year, being $35,000. When pressed into this, my feeling was that if we are already staring down a 6.3% increase, forcing us to exceed the tax cap, it may be more beneficial to attain the goal of removing use of the fund balance while bolstering it further to take on an 8.2% increase in taxable revenues. Expenses. Ambulance. As anticipated, following the Department of Labor settlement, the cost for ambulance personnel have increased considerably by a bit more than $60,000. This is largely personnel costs and a slight increase for equipment. Workman's comp. This came as a surprise, but Ulster County Self-Insurance has increased our charges for workman's compensation insurance by $20,000, a 44% increase. The county runs the program and charges the towns for the insurance coverage. Healthcare, as always, is going up near 8%. This is not a hard figure, but an estimate from our agent. She did update us that the cost could go as high as 13% or as low as 4%. It will remain unclear as the healthcare providers do not provide solid figures until within 60 days of the renewal, which is January for us. The increase is expected to increase those costs by $20,000 each for the general and highway budgets. Bond repayment. In addition to the increase in wages, the town has taken a bond to repay the $109,000 in back wages owed to those employees, which increase our existing bond cost by $10,000. Employees and officials. This year we are looking to provide raises for all 15 general employees and an increase for 8 elected officials, while the police and ambulance department will receive their annual contractual raises. Highway. As stated above, Highway also received increases for their health care, Social Security, workman's compensation costs, combined with contractual increases of pay, which amounts to a nearly $60,000 increase. The Highway Department is also in a peculiar situation as we await funding from FEMA. The Highway must expend the funds for many of the projects that have been completed and are ongoing before they receive reimbursement from FEMA. While we await those funds and reimbursement, and as a precautionary measure, in discussion with the town accountants, we are reducing the use of fund balance by $60,000. Phoenicia Water, as of right now, we are showing a 0.43% reduction in the tax for the Phoenicia Water District. Pine Hill Water, In meeting with the Superintendent Don Clark, there was a need to increase some of the billable charges in the water district. This will not change the tax rate charged in the district. Fire and lighting, Pine Hill High Mount Fire Protection District is proposing a 2% increase, while Big Indian Olive Ria is asking for a 0.87% increase, while Phoenicia Fire is not seeking any increase. The lighting districts will remain the same. Overall, general, with all the changes, the general budget spending is up 4.95%, meaning the proposed spending is up $115,000 more than this year, from $2,331,276 to $2,446,658, combined with a $30,500 decrease in non-taxable revenues is what creates an 8.28% increase on the general tax levy. Highway, the spending is up 2.45%, meaning the proposed spending is up $54,000 more than this year, from $2,187,554 to $2,241,225. Combined with a $60,000 increase in non-taxable revenues is what creates a highway tax levy increase of 7.95%. Overall, the accountant is re-reviewing the figures, but assures me that we will need to pass a resolution to exceed the tax cap. That's my whisper. The cumulative tax increase, including the special districts, is roughly 6.93%, which in turn translates to an increase of $69.30 in town taxes if you paid $1,000 in town taxes last year, which of course is barring any change in your assessment. Phoenicia Library. Of course, all this is outside of a proposed increase for the Phoenicia Library, who's seeking an increase of 72.3% in their tax levy, increasing $68,000 from $94,000 to $162,000. So if the library budget is passed by voters in the upcoming election November 8th, calculating that increase into the general budget as we collect the funds on their behalf translates to a 12.16% increase in the general budget and an 8.73% cumulative increase. The cumulative tax increase, including the special districts, would then be 8.73%, which in turn translates to an increase of $87.30 in town taxes if you paid $1,000 in town taxes last year, which again is barring any change in your assessment. We have resolutions to first set a special meeting and public hearing on allowing us to exceed the tax cap to be held next Thursday, October 13th at 6:30 p.m., and another to adopt the tentative budget as the preliminary budget and to set up a public hearing for the final budget prior to next month's meeting on Wednesday, November 9th at 6:30 p.m. Pine Hill Water. Due to several issues, Don Clark and I met to discuss options for the water district. First off, water usage is down, which financially impacts the budget for the district. Additionally, a number of users are not paying their bills, which will be recouped when they are re-levied against the users on their tax bill in January. But that does not help the district make up the shortfall at this time. Mr. Clark is proposing increasing the regular quarterly fee to $50 from the current rate of $25 in order for this to resolve the district's issue. This would have to be done prior to the release of the last quarter's billing due out October 15th. We will hold a special meeting and public hearing on this matter next Thursday, October 13th at 6:45 p.m. Flood maps and ordinances. Following a public hearing on the matter last Tuesday, September 27th, the town will be adopting the preliminary flood maps as the official flood maps for the town, along with the revised flood damage prevention ordinance. We are required by FEMA to adopt these before October 18th of this year, or FEMA retains the right to cancel all flood insurance policies townwide. The new maps are easier to read and make it easier to define who is either in or out of the floodplain. The revised ordinance, once adopted and approved by FEMA, will effectively provide points through a program known as the Community Rating System, or CRS, which can help reduce flood insurance rates townwide. Additionally, we will be applying for a $15,000 grant in order to hire a CRS consultant to assist the town, and more specifically the building department, become certified in the program within the coming year. The grant is provided through the Shandaken Watershed Stream Management Program. Grants. We have resolutions tonight for a few grants, as one mentioned above. Another grant will be applied also through the Shandaken Watershed Stream Management Program for $115,000 in order to start the local flood analysis for the hamlets of Shandaken and Allegan. This will be a similar process to the one that took place in Phoenicia and Mount Tremper, which helped pay the cost for the town engineering firm Malone and McBroom to run digital models of flooding, talk to residents about what actually occurred during Irene and other flood events, and help establish some projects we would hope to be beneficial to the town and its residents. If awarded the grant, we would most likely start the process in those two hamlets by the close of this year. Another grant opportunity has been announced, which we hope to utilize in order to reestablish the sidewalks and possibly the trail network that existed in Pine Hill. Last month, the town was able to agree to terms with Ritu Engineering on a stalemated stormwater project that was to provide curbing, catch basins, rain gardens, and appurtenances associated with stormwater collection and disbursement. They had agreed to turn over all their technical data, surveys, and maps to the town without penalty. We, in turn, have asked our current engineers to take on this task as it would be paid from the grant provided through CWC. The only caveat with the program being that it does not provide for sidewalks, as they do not convey stormwater. DOT has just announced a program for that. If successful, the grant would be for more than $700,000. It is a very competitive grant, and we will have to secure funds in order to meet the 20% match. There are several identified programs and sources that we could use to secure this project. Eric and I had hoped to move forward to construction of the stormwater plans in Pine Hill next year, and we, as well as the community, would like to see this done as efficiently as it can be with as little disruption as possible. Miscellaneous. We have several other resolutions tonight as well. We're hoping to finalize the logging permit from last month. We will be declaring the town a climate smart community, which in turn shows our commitment to trying to be as energy efficient as we can and by trying to reduce our use of greenhouse gases. Being a climate smart community opens up several funding sources that could benefit the town, if not in the immediate future, but over the coming years. We have resolutions to reappoint Eric Greaser to the Assessment Board of Review. His years of service to the board and as a former town assessor makes him well suited to retain the position. And lastly is the annual resolution supporting the Phoenicia Turkey Trot, which has become one of the local go-to events following Thanksgiving. I look forward to attending and participating again, rain or shine. It's a fun event and a great way to kick off a Shop Local Saturday as opposed to Black Friday. Our next meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, November 9th at 6:30.
Mine is almost as long.
A lot of events.
A lot of events. First of all, if you're new to town, come to my office and pick up one of these welcome packets. This tells you all kinds of information. If you've lived here 20 or 30 or 50 years, you should have one of these on your fridge. This has all the information for the town. Emergency numbers. There possibly could be really bad weather this weekend. We want you to be prepared. And speaking about that, we have our quarterly newsletter coming out Friday. This is the printed out copy I glued together so people can see what it looks like. And this is going to cover all the events, has emergency information, phone numbers, things to do from now until January. So that's going to be out in all the stores in town, both gas stations and both libraries. Okay, so upcoming events for October. Wednesday, October 5th is the Phoenicia Fish and Game Spaghetti and Meatball Dinner. Saturday, October 8th is the annual tax sale benefiting dog shelter at Migliorelli's Farm Stand on Route 28 in Mount Tremper, 10 to 5. Friday, October 7th to October 9th is the annual tent sale and fall festival at the Emerson. And I think the money is benefiting the parks that they break in. It's good. The parks and, Shandaken Parks. Sunday, October 9th is the annual Fish and Game Turkey Shoot. And no, they do not shoot turkeys, starting at 10:30 a.m. Sunday, October 9th is the Pine Hill Block Party, 12 to 4, live music, vendors, food trucks, bake sale to benefit the Pine Hill Library and Pine Hill Community Center. Saturday, October 14th, on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, until October 30th, the Shandaken Theatrical Society will be presenting the Rocky Horror Show. For tickets, call 688-2279. Saturday, October 15th is the Endurance Run Car Show at Pine Hill, Main Street, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And Saturday, October 15th is the annual doo-wop dance at the Parish Hall, 7 p.m. to 11. Live entertainment, DJ music from the 50s and the 70s, and the net proceeds to benefit the Phoenicia Food Pantry. Sunday, October 16th is the annual Shandaken Parks and Rec Picnic Supper at Glenbrook Park, starting at 4 p.m. And we have tickets at our office. Don't buy them from anybody else so you get all these sold. Saturday, November 5th, there is a basket making workshop at the Pine Hill Community Center from 10 to 3. All these events are posted on our website at www.shandaken.us, as well as on the town's Facebook page, and also in the info booth in front of Key Bank on Main Street, Phoenicia. And as I said, they'll also be in our newsletter. That's it.
Joyce, where can you pick up more of these if you want to put them in your store or someplace?
I'll give them to you. Or I'll stop by and put some down there.
But I mean, somebody from.
Oh, in the
from
town
community
hall.
wants to
Yeah,
come?
I usually have like an extra half a box
Okay,
for a few
alright.
weeks at least,
Yeah.
so. But I try to put them in all stores and places where people go.
Mhm.
Okay?
Any other events, communications? Committee reports. Ambulance.
Good evening, Supervisor Stanley, members of the board, and town residents. Shandaken ambulance answered 23 calls for the month of September. No mutual aid given, no mutual aid received. Even though it was a slower month than last, I would like to commend my staff on the great job done by all. There was a couple times over the month of September that we went second call in district, and all the calls were handled by the wonderful staff of the town of Shandaken ambulance. Once again, thank you for your dedication to your jobs. I'd also like to remind everyone that October brings change in the seasons, from summer to fall, but also brings the beginning of bow hunting season. I'd like to remind everyone when they are out at their favorite spots to hunt, to let someone know where they are going in case they need to get help if something were to happen. I would also like to ask that anyone going into the woods to hike to be careful and be respectful to the hunters, and also wear something orange or another bright color so you can be seen. As always, I'd like to wish everyone a safe and happy month, and to get out and enjoy the sights of the wonderful town of Shandaken.
Thank you. Please.
Good evening. Okay, so we handled 254 calls for service this month, and 7 arrests and 5,000 miles total. Unfortunately, tonight there's a letter of resignation from Officer Tui. She's going to be missed. She wants to stay on part-time, but she's taking a full-time job with the sheriff's office. So that leaves us down a full-timer now. We've got some applications and resumes, and I was talking to Timmy, and we're going to start doing interviews this week. Okay.
Thanks. Keisha Ward, Alfred.
Rick has a pretty sizable leak that has to be fixed. And you're scheduled for it tomorrow, am I correct?
Yes.
On Route 28 by simpler times. You undoubtedly know that, Rick. Going to continue to do the GIS mapping, all right? Good, because I'd really like to finish it before the winter. I'll work on it, and I'll get Seth, who came in from RCAP, as well as Rick. So I think together we should really get it done. Next meeting, October 19th, 6:30. And get Rick a truck, will you?
He's got his hand up. I guess we're going to get Rick's report as a follow-up on this.
We did random samplings of lead and copper testing last month. I forgot to mention that. And 10 residents, and they all came in fine.
Thank you. Pine Hill Water, Donnie's not here, but as I said, we're going to have a public hearing on the change of the quarterly rate next Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Museum, Rich couldn't join us, but Mary Lou Stapleton is with us. Hi, Mary Lou.
Hi. This is my first time.
We'll be gentle.
Huh?
We'll be gentle.
Oh, well, thank you. First, the museum would like to thank you for the shed that we have, and we'll make much use of it. We had over 40 visitors in September. We received requests for genealogy and places that were here, and research. We make copies and phone calls and more at no charge. We're getting an awful lot of people requesting information on their families that used to live here, and the buildings that were here, the hotels, and can you find this, or do you know family members. We had our native group was up there for a meeting last month, and as it works out, Kathleen was researching for someone in their family, which is kind of a small world. So the Kelsey family, and some Kelseys were in Pine Hill at one time, and Charlie Kelsey, who's 95 years old, who happened to be there drumming with us. So this is happening all the time with Kathleen. You know, she's trying to do so many things. We have some events planned. We're going to do a Veterans Day event at the museum. We're also going to have a Veterans Day display. We also have a list at the museum now of a lot of the veterans that were in the war up there. If you know anybody else, you might want to give that to Richard, because he has a book at the museum, so if you want to book and see. We're going to have a postcard show this winter. I know several people that have postcards on film, so we're going to have some little postcards up there. We do seasonal displays. Kathleen Myers is our director, and she's working very hard. She's also cleaning, and she's giving tours. She's also our town historian. If there's any way you can find a couple of pennies, or something to give her a little more money, it would really be appreciated. And if there's any way you could find a little help, if we could get another person for 10, 12 hours a week, that would really be appreciated to help her with a lot of the research she has to do. And our phone is still not working at the museum.
That's a constant, that's not even.
Yeah, it's just a-
Verizon, it's the Verizon lines.
Yeah, you can't.
It's all,
just not-
it's
just
throughout
not-
Pine Hill.
Yeah, it's just not working. I want to thank you.
Thank you, Mary Lou.
Okay. You did good. I don't know what he talks about, so we had our meeting this morning.
Marty, recreation?
Thank you. Grow up to be taller, Mary Lou. First, I have pictures. The soccer goals have been installed at Smith Park, the Ray. Soccer dads, including Supervisor Stanley, volunteered to get it done. I'll just turn these for a moment. What we had is all kinds of dads and kids dying to get to play. We had to keep shooing them off, saying, "We're not quite ready yet, give us a minute." But I'm understanding that we're getting, yes, she's gonna zero in on it while I chat. It was a lovely event. It was on Saturday, September 17th. Amelia from the Zephyr brought us all ice cream. I think everybody had a good time, and it was just so exciting to see the kids instantly, playing on it. It's really great. As you know, this was made possible by grants from the O'Connor Foundation and Fleischman's Pine Hill Rotary. Our next step for Smith Park is to restore the tennis court, and we're hoping the highway department can give us a hand. This has been a major effort to revitalize that park, and I want to thank Tim Malloy and Rob Stanley for all their support. As mentioned already, but I want to give you a little more details, our third annual picnic celebrating the parks is scheduled for Sunday, October 16, 4 p.m. at Glenbrook Park. It's 4 p.m. to accommodate kids who are very busy with traveling soccer leagues and don't really get back to the hamlets until around 3. So we'll be dedicating a tree to Sandy Stanley, Glenbrook Park's first park manager. We'll have kids' activities, horseshoes, corn toss. The playground and ball field will be available. We'll have food, hot dogs, hamburgers, chips, salad, lemonade, water, and ice cream. Raffle tickets will be sold for certificates and prizes. The cost is a super bargain, $5 a person, $10 a family. As Joyce mentioned, she has tickets, I have tickets, anybody on the parks board. Kathy Williams is park manager for Glenbrook now. John Michelotti for Big Indian, Carol Chandler for Smith. All those folks have tickets. And the thing about selling the tickets ahead is it gives us some idea of how many people to expect. The last celebration we did last year, we were in a little bit fancier surroundings at the Catamount, and we had 70 people. This event is focused towards the kids and the families, but we really have no idea how to plan how many hot dogs and how much charcoal. So if you really think it's possible you're going to attend, it would be a great favor to us if you bought your ticket. Let us know. I think that's it.
Thank you, Mark. I can attest to how busy Smith Park has gotten with the soccer goals being there. I'm right across the stream from the park, so I hear the kids yelling and screaming. I'm not complaining, but you do hear a lot of use out of the park and people pulling up there over the weekends, and it's nice. Again, I know a couple of families drop their older kids off at the park, play soccer while they go into town, and maybe spend some time with Zephyr, the Arms, and the Colonial.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to do. Thank you. Aaron, yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you as a soccer coach and as a Little League coach and summer baseball coach to the Recreation Committee and the members and especially the town board for its support. I mean, the soccer goals are wonderful. I was there, my kids were there for an hour and a half yesterday playing. You know, just to see that, I know it's going to continue to get a lot of use, and it's nice to have something on that end of town as opposed to the fields on the other end of town. But and the highway department for maintaining the grass, mowing it. It's critical for soccer and baseball to have that nice field, not only for safety but also just for, you know, in the spirit of the game. And so it really makes a big difference, and so it's appreciated. So I thank you for your support for that. This year we'll have, you know, functioning scoreboard and all these other things that it's a place that Glenbrook Park and the soccer field are places that the families like to go to. So again, thank you.
I realized when I was listing the park managers, I forgot one of our hardest working park managers, Carol Urban, for Phoenicia, for the parish field. That's the folks you can see.
Thank you. Okay. Public comments on resolutions? Yes, Beth.
One of the resolutions is the tentative budget, and I just wanted to express my concern. You're predicting over an 8% tax increase for the budget, and it appears to me, on looking at the figures, that a lot of that is because of increases in salaries. I support increasing the salaries of the secretarial staff, people who start quite low. But if we have low inflation, which we do, then I think that increases in salary lines that generate 8% increase is just too much. I think zero-based budgeting, we don't have any Bernstein here to say it, but if we